we've got in today is a 64 Hohner chromatic, and it's in pretty poor shape. The customer wants it totally refurbished. The slider's snapped off, the comb is snapped in a few places, and the spring has broken out of the wood out the back. So on first inspections it's not too good. When I get it apart, the comb falls in about four pieces, and the bottom of the where the spring is, someone has just wedged some wood in there, and it seems to have cracked through the fins, and he sort of glued it all in there. It's not very good. So what we've got to do is we've got to grind out the old wood there, just so that we can get back to the pearwood. Does take a bit of time. And next thing to do is I'm going to make a mandrel here. This is a piece of nylon, and I'm turning it down on my lathe, and that's going to be fitting directly into the hole, so that when I pour the resin in, it doesn't block the hole up. So I insert that into the hole, and then around the outside I put some plasticine, and I'm going to float some epoxy resin in there just to stabilize that end. That's very weak, so that the mandrel doesn't stick to the epoxy resin. I do apply some release agent to it. Once the resin's dry, I can simply twist the mandrel and take the mandrel out of the hole, and hopefully that end of the comb is stabilized now and the spring's not going to break out. Here we can see the comb now all together. I've fixed that. I'm not going to show you how I do that. You can see that the resin has blocked up the crack in the end, and now we're ready to get on with the next part. So now that we've got the comb all together with fiberglass the end in, and the hole is all good and it's all level now, what we're faced with is we've taken away the sort of the burr walnut edging. Now this is a sort of a transfer on these old combs. They're just a transfer on the pearwood. And so what I tend to do to make a nice job of that is I have a big pack here. We sort of collect this over the years really. A big pack of burr walnut. This is veneer. It's about 1/2 mil thick. And the next job, what I'm going to do is I'm going to match or find some very nice walnut, and I'm going to edge the comb with it. So this is a sort of a marquetry job. I sort of go through this. This is all different cuts here. You can see that I've took a bit there. That was probably for a 10 hole. And I just find a nice bit of grain that I like, really. Nothing too crazy. I've got some quite gnarly burred walnut here. Shan't be using that. It goes quite wavy when it gets around those knots. So that will give me a nice finish to the comb. There's a nice piece there, right on the edge there. So the next job is for me to just to laminate some of this veneer onto this comb just around the edging, and then I'm going to polish that up. So it's very thin, and I just glue it on there, sandwich it with some rubber so that I get a good flat edge. So that's the next job now, is to use some of my walnut and make the edge nice. So let's see how we get on with that. Here we are, just clamping up the veneer onto a nice flat surface, and then I finally just give the edge a good rub down to make it nice and flat. Next phase is to do the French polishing and the shellac on the edge. Now this, anyone who's done French polishing knows that it takes a long time. This has had about 35, maybe 40 coats of French polish on. Then I finally put a coat of lacquer over the top just to make it nice and hard. But this does take some time to do, so you can't rush this particular part. Rather than use the original mouthpiece screws, I'm going to use these little brass inserts. So there we have it. That's how it used to look after quite a lot of work really to get this restored, but I'm very pleased with the results. The veneer has come out really nice, and it's all gone back together. So that's it. That's how you restore an old 64 chromatic. And thanks for watching. If ever you have a harmonica that needs restoring, johncookharmonicas.com. Thanks very much.